Welcome to the first episode of Reoccurring Thoughts. I'm your host, Keydran Koger, and tonight, first thing we're going to talk about is the Eastern Conference Finals game last night. And wow, I mean, 105 to 99 was the final score. The Raptors ended up taking it, but Kawhi Leonard had a game for himself, 35 points. He's really doing great right now. So far, I saw the stat tonight. He has 7 30-point playoff games, and it's pretty good. I mean, he's played well, and wow, he's had a heck of a series. But they come back from being down 2-0 early on. They were down 0-2. Sorry, 0-2. They were down, and they ended up winning, reeling off three straight. Something that nobody has done this season to the Bucks is win three straight on them, or they've never lost three in a row. Sorry, they've never lost three in a row, and the Raptors ended up doing that. They ended up putting three in a row on them. Wow, a heck of a squad. But I see the Raptors taking this in six. They're going to finish it off Saturday, in my opinion, which is when Game 6 is. So they're going to finish this series off Saturday, and look forward to playing the Warriors next week in the NBA Finals. Uh, the NBA, the All NBA team, the All Defensive team, all those good teams came out yesterday, and your first team is Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, Stephen Curry, Paul George, and Nikola Jokic. Heck of a season by all five of those guys. I mean, Giannis is in the running with James Harden for MVP. Those are the first two names on the All NBA list, and wow, they're just special talents. Giannis is 6'11", a Greek freak as they call him. So James Harden, heck of a season for him. He's like I said, he's up there with Giannis in the MVP race. But one name that's not on there that has is the first time in 11 years really that hasn't been on an NBA first team was LeBron James. And honestly, I mean, how, can you blame him? My man was hurt all year. He's the goat for me, by the way. But he was hurt all year, or for part of the year. And how can you get something going if you're hurt? Yeah, you say if you're the goat, you should be able to play through what you played through, or you should be able to do everything, right? And he does. He does everything. But how can you play with a strained groin or a messed up groin? That's hard. Okay, that's very difficult. The second team includes Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, and Kyrie Irving. That's your NBA All NBA second team, and Joel Embiid is a special talent. That man can be one of the greatest to ever play if he continues to develop. He's still getting better with his outside shot and more of his shot. He's more of a better player closer to the rim. But I mean, he's special. He's a special player. Kevin Durant, we all know what Kevin Durant can do. Speaking of Kevin Durant, the Golden State Warriors, I keep getting texts from my buddy. He's talking about how the Warriors, how will they survive without their daddy, Kevin Durant? And honestly, I think they will. Kevin Durant is a special talent, like I said, but the Warriors are good. They are good. I think they will end up winning the championship, but they are very good without Kevin Durant. Not to say that they are better, honestly, but they may be. But Kevin Durant is still a great player, and without him, they are kind of lacking. But also, again, Stephen Curry is still on that team, so and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green are all on that team. So, what can you say about that group? They say DeMarcus Cousins may play in the finals, but not too sure about that. But overall, Kevin Durant is a hell of a player. He's a great, he's a great NBA player. He's the number two basketball player in the world right now, behind the GOAT, LBJ. But I mean, Kevin Durant, what can I say? Hopefully, he can stop his spat with Chris Broussard on Twitter, man. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, Chris Broussard, yeah, people may say he exaggerated, but it is the same thing. It is the same thing. Texting, in my opinion, texting and DMing are the same thing. They're both text, some form of text messaging. Whether it be I have your number or not, or whether I have your Instagram username or not, it's all the same thing to me. Okay, it's all the same thing to me. And Kevin Durant is kind of blowing this thing out of proportion. And man, just face it. Just face it, man. You have talked to this guy before. I don't see somebody lying about that. Yeah, you can exaggerate that, but I don't see him lying about that. Why would he lie about that? He's a grown man. He's a grown man. Why would he lie about that? But it's silly. I think it's silly. Kevin Durant's too worried about what's going on with with what somebody's saying about him. I mean, come on, man. You're the second greatest basketball player in the world right now. Play basketball. Focus on that, man. Focus on coming back from injury and helping your team win another championship. That's my gripe. That's my gripe for tonight. I'm not gonna gripe anymore. But Kevin Durant, come on, man. We know what you can do. We know what you can do. We know what you can do. So come on, stop worrying about what they say about you, man. Just play. Just play. Dude, you got millions. You have millions. Why are you worried about that? Kawhi Leonard, like I said, we talked about him already. Dame. I skipped over Dame. Dame, I love Dame, man. I think Dame is a top. It's going to ruffle some feathers, but I think Dame is better than Westbrook. Westbrook is a heck of an athlete playing basketball. He can play. Don't get me wrong, but Dame is a player. He is a gamer. And if Westbrook was better than Dame, in my opinion, he should have beat him with more talent. Westbrook had more talent with the Thunder than Dame has with the Trailblazers. So he should have beat him if he was better than him. I think Dame is better than him, although he got swept in the Western Conference Finals. I still think Dame is a better point guard than Westbrook. My top five, I guess, if I'm going to say that, is my first point guard I'm going to list off is Steph Curry, obviously. My second point guard is going to be Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie Irving is a heck of a player. And my third is going to be Dame. Of course, Westbrook would be fourth. And I think Kemba deserves to be in the top five. I think Kemba deserves to be in the top five. I don't count Ben Simmons as a point guard, so that didn't count to me. But I think Ben Simmons, or not Ben Simmons, sorry. I think Kemba Walker deserves to be in that top five mix. I mean, just based on how he's kept Charlotte relevant, other than Michael Jordan being the owner or the owner of the Hornets, Kemba's kept them relevant. So I think he deserves to be in that conversation. So yeah, you heard it. Stephen Curry is my number one. My number two is Kyrie. My number three is Dame. My number four is Russell, and my fifth is Kemba Walker. Uh, Next up on that list was, like I said, Kawhi Leonard. He's the number three player in the world to me. LBJ's number one. Kevin Durant number two, and of course Kawhi Leonard number three. Kyrie Irving, my second best point guard. Although he had a kind of a down year, I guess you'd call it, because he didn't lead Boston to some type of glory days like Boston was had great. They didn't have chemistry, I mean, with him and I feel like he's gonna leave for somewhere else. So, and that place, I really don't know. I think he'll leave for. I'm hoping for New York because I'm a New Yorker fan. So I believe that he should go to New York. I believe Kevin Durant should too, but that's just my opinion. So the All NBA third team is listed as Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, LeBron James, Rudy Gobert, and Kemba Walker. And Russell Westbrook is the first name on this list, and he should be. I mean, he averaged a triple double for a third straight season, which is something that's never been done in NBA history. Averaging a triple double is hard, but doing it three straight times is outstanding. And he's a heck of a player. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a heck of a player, but he's just not one of my top three point guards. He's an athlete playing point guard, and he's a heck of a player. So don't mistake me for saying he's garbage. He's not garbage. He's actually one. He's a top 10 player in the league. He's a top 10 player in the league. So, and to give you, I'd have to make out my list of top 10 players for that. But I could list off my first three. Really, I could make a top 10 right now on Mike. So let's do that. I'm gonna say LeBron James is number one. Obviously, I still think he's the number one player in the world. Simply because just because you have a down year don't make you not or does not make you less of a player. I mean, you're still the greatest player in the world. Number two, Kevin Durant. Like I already gave a spiel about him. Number three, Kawhi Leonard. Number four, the Greek Freak, Giannis. I just think Giannis is a heck of a. He's first of all, his size is impeccable. Let's get that right first. He is an impeccable human being. He is huge. He's 6'11", man. Nobody can stop him running to the basket. So, I think he's number four. Number five, Joel Embiid. I think he's a top five player already. Where's Steph Curry on this list? He's number six. He's a heck of a player. I love the way he shoots, and it's hard to keep him out. It was hard to keep him out of my top five, but man, it's hard to keep Joel Embiid out of the top five too. Number seven, Let me go into my memory bank for this one because I've got to think about this one. Because like I said, I don't have this listed in front of me, so I'm just going off the top of my head with this. My number 7 player oh my goodness, how could I forget James Harden? I've got to start over now. I've got to start over now. So number 1, LeBron. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Number 3 player in the world is James Harden. I'm gonna put him at number 3. Kawhi number 4. There's no reason for me to explain why James Harden number 3. No reason. He's arguably number 2, but I don't want to put him there because Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant is a better player than Harden. Harden's number 3. Simply because, and the reason I say Kevin Durant is better is because I think Kevin Durant's defense is better than Harden's. Oh, we've all seen Harden try to play defense on camera, and he doesn't do a horrible job, but he could do better. Number that was 3. Number 4 is Kawhi. I'll just drop my list. So number 5 is Antetokounmpo, Giannis, the Greek Freak. Number 6 is Joel Embiid. Number 7 is Stephen Curry. Number 8, I'm gonna say Westbrook. We don't have to explain that one. Number 9 is so I'm at 9. Let me think. Number 9, my number 9 best player in the league. Oh man, this is a hard list, man. Because I mean, everybody's talented. I mean, Anthony Davis got hurt, so even though he was pretending, I guess he got hurt, but they benched him in the season. Although he was somewhat healthy, I don't know how that situation went exactly, but it was pretty weird. But I think he's the number 9 best player in the world, or in the NBA. Sorry, in the NBA. And number 10, my number 10 player in the NBA is man, number 10. Man, a lot of people can fight for that spot, but this year alone, I think Paul George was a top 10 player. I'd say Paul George because I mean he played with Russell Westbrook, one of the biggest stat sheet stuffer guys in modern NBA history. So I just think that Paul George deserves to be on that my top 10 list. And like I said, this is my top 10. If you have one, let me know. Just drop them. So yeah, that's a talented group. So LeBron number 1, number 2 Kevin Durant, number 3 James Harden, number 4 Kawhi Leonard, number 5 Giannis, Greek Freak, number 6 Joel Embiid, number 7 Steph Curry, number 8 Russell Westbrook, number 9 Anthony Davis, and number 10 Paul George. Top 10 players in the NBA this past year on my list, at least. So I got to the NBA third team, and like I said, Russell was number 1, triple double, Mr. Triple Double. Blake Griffin, he's been great in Detroit. He's been kind of underrated in Detroit, to tell you the truth. He's a top 2 power forward. Yeah, he's definitely a top 2 power forward with him and Anthony Davis at the 4. So I think Blake Griffin has made his name. He's done well for himself, and he's basically helped Detroit become better. Right, him and Andre Drummond, of course, but. LeBron James, there's no need to talk about LeBron. We know who LeBron is. We know what he's about. Rudy Gobert, talented 5. Very talented. Do I think he should be above some of the other guys that are on here, like Andre Drummond? I think Andre Drummond deserves to be in that spot, but Rudy Gobert did play well. So, I can't knock whoever voted. So, Kemba Walker, number 5, like I said, he's a top 5 point guard to me. So, I think that list of all NBA teams was a talented group, and honestly, if I pin 1 against 2, I think 2 would actually beat 1, just based on who they have. I think the second team would beat the first team, and the third team will compete with the first team. So I just think overall it's a talented mix. The other players receiving votes: Bradley Beal fell short, Klay Thompson fell short. I saw his interview today, and they asked him how he felt about that, and he said, winning a championship, I understand those are some talented dudes on the list, but I mean, you don't win, you don't go to the finals, or what did he say, 5 straight finals without having talent, or something like that. So, I mean, he's right, but then again, I mean, you look at the guards on that list. I mean, was he better than Kemba Walker? Kemba Walker was pretty consistent this year, opposed to Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson was good, but he wasn't as consistent as Bradley Beal and Kemba Walker. Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, I mean, Steph Curry, James Harden. You put him on that list, I mean, you're gonna leave one of those guys off, and I just can't do it. Ben Simmons, Mike Conley. Mike Conley, I think he's hitting his peak, or he's really going towards the end of his peak. Uh, Donovan Mitchell, a great young star in the making. DeMar DeRozan, D'Angelo Russell. He's really come up since he was traded from the Lakers. I think the Lakers may have made a mistake, but then again, they were trying to stop the beef between him and Nick Nick Young. I almost forgot Swaggy P's name for a second. I almost called him Swaggy P. Dwayne Wade was on that list. Legend. He retired this year. I'm gonna miss you. Devin Booker, Eric Gordon, Drew Holiday, Kyle Lowry, and Lou Will. Uh, the other players receiving votes those were all the guards, the forwards. LaMarcus Aldridge, Danilo Gallinari, Pascal Siakam, Luka Doncic, a great great player, man. He's gonna be a beast to come. Tobias Harris, Marvin Bagley III, Sacramento. Marvin Bagley was a rookie this year. Uh, this is my first time looking at this list of forwards, and that's shocking. But then again, he is talented. So, and Domantas Sabonis. The centers receiving votes: Karl Anthony Towns, Nikola Vucevic, or Vucevic, however you want to say it, because I say Vucevic. Um, Andre Drummond, I like his rebounding ability, beast. Anthony Davis and Miles Turner. Miles Turner's turned into something, and I mean he's done great in Indiana. I just like the core that Indiana has with Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner and Sabonis. You know, being a young guy too, that core is gonna be something special. So I hope it stays together. And that's your All NBA team. Uh, yeah, there were some people saying that, like I said, Klay Thompson was kind of uh, upset that he was snubbed off that team. But then again, it was a great team. I felt like it was well put together by the voters. Um, so as far as when I said the Chris Broussard thing, if for those of you who don't know about Chris Broussard is an NBA analyst for FS1. FS1 houses Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless's show with Shannon Sharp called Undisputed, and he went on the show. Chris Broussard did, and said that he has had conversations over text with Kevin Durant about his life, his faith in basketball. He said for hours, sometimes, and Kevin Durant went on the Twitter after seeing Undisputed's Twitter account post that clip. Kevin Durant said, "You don't even have my number." And while that's funny, I just think it's kind of immature as well on the part of Kevin Durant. Because you're an NBA star, man. If you got a beef with a guy, just tell him. Okay, just go directly to him and tell him, man. It's not like you can't find him. It's not like you can't find him. So, I don't know. That just got to me. But overall, I think Chris Broussard is telling the truth. And later on, he said Chris Broussard came and responded to that tweet. He said, Instagram DM, Twitter DM, text. It's all the same thing. You don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. And to be honest, Chris Broussard has a point. It is all the same thing. Texting, any form of text, let me back up. Any form of social media, whether it be texting, DM, whatever it may be, that's still texting. Social media, I shouldn't say not any forms. That form where you can send a message to someone in text is considered a text message. A text message is that. So overall, I think it was an overreaction. Really, not. Let me rephrase. It's not an overreaction. It was more of a petty beef between two guys that are, or it's still going on actually, but it's a petty beef, honestly, in my opinion. I think Kevin Durant should focus on getting back healthy so he can play. I mean, we want to see you win another. Some people don't want to see you win another championship. My good buddy's been texting me. He's been pretty upset. He likes the talent of the Warriors, but he hates how it's ruined basketball. And I can agree with him on that. It kind of has ruined basketball and kind of taking the fun away from what it does. But then again, everybody's about winning now. And if I can't win now, I've got to go join somebody to win. So can't knock those guys for that. But yeah, I just think the beef is petty. Him and Shannon Sharp had a gripe. Shannon Sharp was upset because he called. Uh, he said what Shannon Sharp. I believe what he said about Shannon Sharp was that Shannon Sharp said something ignorant. And Shannon Sharp, as you know him, he's from the South and he hates being called ignorant because he knows the meaning behind that word, or he understands the meaning behind that word. So he said, if you need me, dude, you know where I'm at. Just tell me. Next time I see you, man, just tell me. And that's just how it is, man. Just tell them. If you're upset about something, tell us. So I don't know. The NBA is getting kind of crazy. I love sports in general. I'm more of a football guy myself, but the NBA is just, man, it's drama filled, and I kind of like it. I like it a lot. So, like I said, I expect the Raptors to win Saturday night. When in Game 6, and overall, I just think that Kawhi has been great, man. Kawhi has been great in this comeback, and every player's played their role. Mark Gasol's played his role. Siakam played his. I can't say his name. Siakam has played his role. Um, Cal Lowry's been better. He's playing his role. Serge Ibaka's playing his role, and they're all gelling. They're all gelling, so it's turning into something special. And I think they can compete with the Warriors. I think they'll take the Warriors to 6 or 7 games. I'll nail that number down later, but I do think they'll be able to compete, especially with the size they have and the talent. I mean, Kyle Lowry is a pretty decent defender, and he can score. Um, Kawhi Leonard is one of the better basketball defenders in the world. So him and he'll have a chance to cover all three of those, or all two of those guys, those two, and Klay Thompson and Steph Curry if they make it that far. But Kevin Durant, if he comes back, he'll be able to compete with them. So I just like the prospects of that team, the Toronto Raptors, being able to play with the Warriors compared to the Bucks. I think Giannis is a great player, but without Giannis, can the Bucks survive? And that's how I look at it. I don't think they can. I don't think they would even be this far in the playoffs without Giannis, like I said. But um, overall, I just think Giannis is a different player, man. He's different. He's just different. I don't know how to describe it. Just different. Uh, the Supermax stuff. So I talked about the All NBA teams for a reason. Let me go back to that. Sorry. Let me go back to that. The All NBA teams mean something for these players because they can get a Supermax out of it. And Klay Thompson fell short of that. And that's why he had his interview today and he was upset about it. So I think the Supermax thing is pretty cool, but it also is, I don't know, it does add a competitive spirit to the game more so than what it was. So that's a good thing, and that's something that I enjoy seeing. I don't know why he was shocked when he saw it, but uh, Klay Thompson, you're a heck of a player, my man. But I can't put you in front of James Harden. I can't put you in front of Steph Curry, your teammate. I can't put you in front of Russell Westbrook. I can't put you in front of Kemba Walker. I can't put you in front of Dame. So, man, or I can't put you in front of Bradley Beal, the guy that was in front of you too. I can't put you in front of those guys. I just can't. I mean, you you're a great player, just not consistent enough. In my opinion, he's just not consistent enough. If he was by himself, oh, he'd definitely be on that list. But he's not by himself. He's playing with the two better players in the world. So it's a little hard for him to make his name, even though he has a name, obviously. But it's harder for him to do what he wants and get what he wants uh, when uh, when he's got those other two guys playing next to him. Uh, in other news, college football news, uh, I guess I could let in another episode. I'll preview the. I'm from the South, so I can preview, or I would love to preview the SEC schedules. So in a later episode, I'm going to preview the SEC schedules one by one, each team, and just talk about more football in general in college football because that's all I'm about. I'm about football. I enjoy watching the NBA, but it's not something that is in my heart. I speak about it because I know a little bit about it, but I'm more of a football guy. That's all I am to the heart. So I'm going to come out with some more episodes of just previewing each SEC team's schedule, and then we'll probably move on to a different conference if there's enough time to do that. But overall, I think that would be fun. So be on the lookout for that. And last but not least, I've got a quote of the day to close this episode off. And my quote of the day today is either move or be moved by Ezra Pound. And that quote to me, either move or be moved, is something that don't sit still. Don't sit still. To me, if you sit still, that means you're complacent. And when you get complacent, somebody's coming to get you. Don't sit still. So I'll leave you with that. Either move or be moved. It was a great episode. I thank you for listening in. And be on the lookout for episode 2. Peace out.